People don't really know the sacrifices that a military man goes through as he serves. He gives up so much.
Find the cause of freedom, buried in the ground.
The country really cares for their veterans.
That from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion.
The value of seeing this is to understand that freedom is not free.
That is very true.
That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain.
Many have come before us and guaranteed the freedoms that we have today.
Mother Earth will swallow you. Lay your body
It's the U.S. versus Germany.
We're not hoping for a medal, we're going to get a gold medal.
For the U.S. team, each pass, set, and kill is one step closer to a trip to London 2012.
If you want to go to London, you want to try to make it here.
They're as different as each play.
1, 2, 3, USA!
One's an Army veteran, another's a college basketball player. The one thing they all have in common, they're missing a limb.
We are Olympic athletes. Without legs, we are athletes.
It's called sitting volleyball. The court is a little smaller and the net lower, but the pace is much quicker.
It's a fast game, a lot of good rallies. I mean, it's a great spectator sport.
Standing, you have a little bit more time because of the angles, how high the net is, but when you're sitting, the ball's right on you.
Back row specialist Carrie Miller survived the Army, but lost both her legs when a drunk driver hit her car. Miller's mother encouraged her to try out for wheelchair basketball.
I still had stitches in my leg, and I'm watching wheelchair basketball games. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it.
Too short for basketball, she gave volleyball a shot.
Sitting volleyball is a girly sport. It's not for me.
Her opinion of the sport quickly changed.
Somebody swung a ball at me, and I screamed and ducked.
I was born without a fibula bone in my right leg, and so my parents had to make the decision for me at about 20 months to amputate my right foot.
Outside hitter Katie Holloway played Division I basketball before she turned to volleyball.
When I played basketball and transitioned to playing a sport without my prosthetic, it's so hard for me to get down the movement portion of the game.
In the end, the U.S. team leaves with a win after its players have lost so much.
People don't understand how good of athletes they are, and they're world-class athletes. They just happen to have a physical disability.
We grow food on the 3.5 acres that we have.
The idea stems from a need to help the hungry.
I've seen hunger up close, and there's no excuse for it in our country, especially in Oklahoma.
As the urban harvest director at the Regional Food Bank, Bruce Edwards searches for innovative ways to produce more food.
With the idea of also being able to provide fresh tilapia to the people that we work with, that would be an added bonus. They're fast.
The latest experiment, a fish farm, produces hundreds of tilapia for the organization. But the same water the fish use also helps produce grow faster than in the field.
You're also getting more bang for your buck because you're getting 2 crops with the same resources.
Edwards says the tank holds 800 tilapia. In just 9 months, the fish weigh more than a pound.
They only need a gallon of water per fish, and they're also they're a tasty fish and a nutritious fish.
When it's time to harvest, the food bank provides the goods to children's feeding programs.
We have the means to grow, we have the means to be able to provide food, and that's what we're doing.
But the group wants to take it a step further, teaching others to make their own aquaponic system and backyard garden.
It'd be a nice way to have food that you're just paying such a small amount for the seeds and that would just continue to provide for you.
After a few classes, Lisa Perry is tending to her own.
It's nice to know that I'm growing it, I know where it came from.
Producing food and a new idea.
It could very well be a cure for local hunger if in fact people would look at doing this.
Her inspiration.
I loved Barbie as a child.
is 11.5 inches tall, known for her flawless figure and timeless fashions.
It really wasn't a decision at all. It was an accident.
The accident began with a single painting that Debbie Curtis thought happened to look like Barbie. Curtis says her first paintings were dark, hardly Barbie perfection.
I just found it kind of fun to paint Barbie and then kind of smear her makeup. You know, like, you're so perfect. You know, I mean, I don't know.
But Barbie sold, first to art collectors.
They would look at the painting, they would like the painting, and then they would realize, oh, it's Barbie, and that would surprise them, and they liked it even more.
Now Curtis travels to the Barbie convention to sell her work to Barbie collectors from around the world.
Being here in Oklahoma, how would that ever happen otherwise?
One of Curtis's large paintings hangs in the design center at Mattel, the company that makes Barbie.
At this year's convention, a couple of the representatives of Mattel came by to let me know how wonderful it looks in the design center and the kind of positive reaction they get from it all the time. To me, it's such an honor.
Curtis also learned Christian Louboutin, the shoe designer, famous for his red-soled heels, admired her work.
I've already bragged on that to my daughter already this afternoon. And I never pronounce his name right, so I'm not even going to try.
From her kitchen with no formal art training, Curtis is humbly perfecting Barbie's perfection.
That kind of grounds you. That makes you think, you know, I am painting Barbie, so I'm going to get a lot of attention for the fact that it is Barbie.
And just as Barbie has transformed over time, so has Curtis's art.
They're really not smeary anymore. They're more the way Barbie should be. Absolutely perfect in every way.